So I don't ever think I introduced you to Sylvia. This is Sylvia. Splash Naked Neck. Okay, so we're going to go with the 2-inch, and as I was saying, I usually cut it to about 12 inches. Approximately. Of course, she's tiny, and now that I think about that, I'm still going to do 12 inches, but then I'm going to cut it in half again. So, hey! Be nice to the baby. And you can't go over there and save her because I need you. Alright, so we'll cut this one more time. Okay, so we got that already. And let me tell you real quick about the difference between these two. This is, I believe, a 2x2. Nope, this is a 3x3 gauze. It's non-stick. And I really prefer this over this. This works well if you don't have anything. This is better than nothing. I always like to put something underneath the vet wrap just to kind of help soak up some of the moisture. However, when you go to take this off, if it's kind of scabbed in there, it'll make it start bleeding. And we don't want to do that. So try to avoid the wrapped gauze and go with the non-stick squares. Depending on the size of your bird, if you have a large file, you might want to get a 4x4. But like I said, I think this is a 3x3. And because we're normally going to be dealing with bumblefoot, that's the topic of our conversation today, we're going to be covering a really small area. So if we look here, I didn't actually think about this when I picked up Sylvia. Hang on, baby. It's going to cover her whole foot, so I'm going to cut it real quick. I'm sorry. She says, why are you doing this to me? I don't have a boo-boo. Just big enough to cover up her boo-boo, and then the drawing salve when it kind of spreads out a little bit. That's still going to cover up her whole foot. Tiny feet. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so we are going to wrap little Sylvia up here. Oh, we need this too. And remember, you're welcome to use Neosporin if you feel the urge to put antibiotic on there. Just remember to get the original with no pain relief. Okay, so we have a little Naked Neck burrito. Who's not real happy, but I've got her feet right here for me, and she can't wiggle. And actually put her down a little bit in front of my little pillow. Down into my legs, so I can still get a good grip on her in my legs too. It's late and my brain's not working super good. This is not a good time for me to be doing a video. Okay, you want to look around here, Michael, so you can see, since I have her turned towards me. So you can, actually, if you want to sit right next to me, hubby, you can. You want to sit here? Okay. So here's my tootsies. No bumblefoot for me. No bumblefoot. Okay, no more playing. So, because I don't want to get Sylvia all icky, I'm not going to put this on her, but just so you can see, it cost $11.95 when I bought it. But basically it has that in it. Yeah, and I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I call it Ichthymol. Smells like, whoops, what? Oh, we need to look at it. Okay. There is another brand. I can't tell you now who makes it because I forgot. And that's what it looks like. Pretty gnarly stuff. And it smells like tar and yuck. But it works. So, people use this on horses who have abscesses, etc. in their hooves. And we use it on chickens. So what I would do normally is I would have like a plastic knife or some kind of applicator, and I would scoop out with her with these tiny little feet, just enough to cover the scab. Okay, and remember, this is after she's already soaked her feet. And then we're going to pretend that she's got one right in the middle of her foot here. I know I say this in all my videos, but if you wrap your chicken up like this, it's going to be so much easier for you. Normally Michael helps me do this when I'm wrapping feet, and I was a little bit worried about doing it myself, but calms them right down. As long as their wings are kind of tightly wrapped, then they're okay. So this is still a little bit big, but it's okay. We can deal with it. So I would take my salve and put it right here wherever her little black scab is. And then we put that there, but I'm not going to do that yet until I have this in my mouth. I just hold it in my teeth, because that's what teeth are for. And, okay, now, one of the main things that I usually start up here at the hock, this is the bird's hock, kind of like our elbow. And the most absolute important thing that you don't want to do is wrap it too tight. I would rather you wrap it and question yourself that it's tight enough than wrap it and have it too tight, because it can actually cause some pretty major lameness issues. Okay, so her feet are a lot smaller than I thought. So I'm going to go now between her third and fourth toe, but this is still too wide for her, so I'm just going to give it a little twist. And I'm just wrapping it super light because this sticks together. As you all know, I'm sure you've used vet wrap before. Okay, so I gave it a twist so it fits nicely between your toes. Then we're going to go around here, around the top of her foot. And a lot of it too depends on where the wound is. If she has a wound up here closer on this side of her toe, I'm going to want to make sure I cover that. This I probably might cut off, I don't know. But, and let's see where I want to go from here. I think I might do one more twist, and then we'll take the other piece and put it on. Okay. And we don't want to squish her feathers because that could hurt. And we also, we don't want to stretch our toes apart. Okay, so that is really loose. You can actually see how loose it is right here, Bear. You see that? Loose, loose. All we're using this for, it's not for pressure. It's just to keep any poopy or bacteria out. Okay, so this is what our wrap looks like so far. And we're pretending like we have salve under there. Okay, now I do not want to cut your toe off because that would make me and you really, really sad. There. Beautiful. Okay, so now I just kind of look at it and see where, if I have any weak. We're having some camera issues at the moment. It keeps telling us we don't have enough room because I'm talking too much. But we got plenty of room. Okay, so I take a look. Looks okay. I quite honestly, I would probably just leave it like that. But because I want to show you how to go between these toes, number 1, 2, and 3, we're gonna just wrap it again. So, and what I was saying before I was so rudely cut off by my phone was this is only here to keep bacteria out, not to provide any pressure. It also keeps the salve on the wound to help draw the icky part out. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to go the other direction. Sorry. Rewind. Do y'all remember when we had to rewind VHS tapes? I just thought of that. Okay. And the more you do this, the more you get used to it and you figure out the best way for you. Everybody's got a different way of doing it, which is always okay. So I'm just going to kind of consider the fact that maybe she has a wound on her toe. So I want to get a little bit closer up here. So we're going to go around right here. again, I'm not applying pressure. And I want to take it in between toe 2 and 3, so a twist. Again, no pressure, no tightness, I'm just squeezing it together. Which way do I want to go from here? We'll go this way. And you can always redo too, that's the cool thing about it. Okay, and we have a wrapped foot. So regardless of where her boo-boo is, whether it is up here or right here or right there, it's covered. It's not going to get poop in it. She's using her pillow. Good girl, Sylvia. And she's good to go. So we can wake her up and take her out of her little wrap. She's going to say, how did I get a boo-boo? I don't remember getting a boo-boo. You got that? Okay. And sometimes they'll like lift it up really high, but they generally get used to it pretty quick. Okay. Oh my goodness, what did we put on your foot? Here, we'll let her stand here for a second. Oh wait, you're okay. Don't step in that, please. I don't want a stinky ichthymal chicken. Can you show me you can still walk? So they do fine. As far as changing the wrap goes, change it daily, definitely daily. It can get really gnarly in there if you leave it on more than 24 hours. But just make sure that you're not doing it too tight. If you are to do it too tight, it's going to cut off circulation, and that can lead to a whole nother set of issues. If you've ever had a dog that had an IV and they send them home with the wrap around their leg, and your dog starts to get a fat foot, that's what's happening, is it's cutting off that circulation. But when they do it, they do need pressure on it to get the bleeding to stop. We're not trying to get any bleeding to stop. We're just wanting to keep the gnarly bacteria out. So that is that. I am wishing my friend Jennifer well with her naked neck, in hopes that we can clear this up with just the drawing salve and soaking it. And if not, then we might be doing a little bit of, I don't even call it surgery, just a little bit of scooping out of a kernel of bacteria. So any questions, you know you can always email me at the email address on my YouTube channel. And I hope you guys have a great Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, because it might be a while before another video. Have a good night.